Robert Cree runs a teepee camp on the outskirts of the oil boom town of Fort McMurray. He shows visitors from all over the world how his forefathers lived in harmony with nature. The former chief of the Mikisaw Cree is trying to protect the environment and his culture. But this has become ever more difficult since the oil industry discovered his native land.
One of the things I always tell the younger generation, I said, that fire is very beautiful, but you start fooling around with fire, go and touch that fire, it's going to burn you, it's going to hurt. You don't mess with nature. That's the same example. It'll give you the harmony and the peace that you need, but just don't bother it, let it be.
But nature in the remote northern parts of Alberta is too valuable to leave be. One of the world's largest oil reserves is to be found here in an area the size of England. But to get at that oil, huge areas of forest must be cut down. The clearance work is done out of view. Even the Indigenous people are kept away.
Absolutely not. Even myself, as First Nations, I'm not allowed to go into my traditional lands to go do my hunting purposes and whatnot. They've heightened the security so much that nobody can enter into those lands.
Only the oil company workers have access to the huge mining areas north of Fort McMurray. High wages are attracting more and more workers from across the world. The oil sands are truly a supersized business. One company gives us a quick peek at what's going on, but entry to the main area is not allowed. We take a drive across the site with Suncor Press Secretary Brenda Erskine. It takes huge amounts of water and natural gas to wash the tough tar out of the dirt.
Because it's so big.
The oily water is collected in artificial lakes, called tailing lakes, which now cover some 50 square kilometres.
We have collection systems at the bottom of the dikes, and we also do extensive monitoring at any areas where groundwater or seepage could be getting into the river to measure the quality of the river.
One person who's concerned about water quality and the fact that so much is being extracted from the Athabasca River is David Schindler from Alberta University.
I've seen enough of the oil sands to know that there is seepage. Typically they have pumps running in a pit along the bottom pumping this stuff back over the top. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is 200 years from now, when petrochemicals are gone or no longer used, who's going to pay for that pumping?
The lake at Robert Cree's camp is still clean. Nature remains untouched here. But the oil extraction sites are not far away. There's no fishing to be had there.
Or do you want to take it home?
No, you have it.
The Indian reservation of Fort McKay is surrounded by oil companies. Many have become suspicious of the free bottled water they are receiving.
We used to go and drink water anywhere. The water was very good to drink around here. You can't go anywhere now, you just can't go and drink water anywhere. You have to drink bottled water because it's just polluted. You can't drink that water, you'll get sick.
Many Indigenous people feel sidelined. Even those whose job it is to consult with the industry say they're left in the dark.
They're monitoring, they do themselves. A lot of the raw data is not shared in the public. And then they assess that data and say, yes, we're fulfilling what our predictions said. There are no impacts. And therefore, we just continue to do what we're doing. So, in my opinion, industry is basically running the entire show here.
The government requires the oil companies to return the land to its former condition once the oil is extracted.
Multi-stakeholder groups, the cumulative environmental
But 40 years after the business started, just 1 square kilometre has been classified as reclaimed. None of the tailings lakes have been cleaned up, but the industry is still optimistic.
We believe we can reclaim this environment to a state that is a usable state, and a lot of our monitoring efforts so far are showing us that that is the case. It's true we have not yet reclaimed tailings ponds, but Suncor is looking forward to being the first.
The tailings lakes are getting larger and larger, and no progress is being made in the clean-up. Former forest is now barren land. Environmentalists demand no new projects receive authorisation.
I'm not believing for a minute that this tar sands area will ever be reclaimed. I think it's unreclaimable. There are a number of us who feel that this is the biggest unsustainable development on the planet right now.
Although the oil companies are confident they can keep going here for another 70 years or more, Robert Cree is not sure how much longer he can hold out.